Okay, so get ready because today we're taking a deep dive into something delicious.
Oh, it's a good way to start.
Right. Thai and Malaysian food.
I love it already.
You know, I think a lot of our listeners are already fans, but today we're going like way beyond the basics here.
Awesome.
We found this awesome food vlog, Babachichi's Big Adventures.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so they go on these culinary journeys through both Thailand and Malaysia. And honestly, they uncover some really interesting stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, way more than just tasty, right? Like both cuisines are incredibly mindful.
Yeah.
You know, almost philosophical, like in their approach to flavor.
That's a great way to put it. I never thought about it that way.
It's true.
Okay, so Babachichi, right away, they're raving about Thai food and how it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Sweet, sour, salty, spicy.
Right. We know that part.
We all know that part.
Yeah.
But what was really cool is they compared to like the concept of yin and yang.
That's interesting.
Oh.
It makes sense though, right? Because it's not just about the individual flavors themselves.
It's how they all come together and like work together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To create something that's like greater than the sum of its parts.
Exactly. And they give a really good example with tom yum soup.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
So they talk about how like the lemongrass and the galangal give it this bright, almost citrusy heat. But then you've got the chilies too, right? Which bring a more direct, like fiery punch.
Yeah.
And it's that interplay between the two that makes it so complex, so satisfying.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too. And something else that really struck me was the ingredients that Babachichi was showing.
Oh, yeah.
Like stuff I've never even seen in my kitchen.
Right.
What is all that stuff?
Well, you know, that's what makes Thai cuisine so unique, I think.
Okay.
They have such a vast array of ingredients, and they use them in such interesting ways.
Like, what's a good example?
We'll take the mortar and pestle, for example.
Oh, yeah. They were using that a lot.
Right, like that's like essential for making Thai curry pastes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like grinding those ingredients by hand that releases these oils and aromas that you just wouldn't get from a food processor.
Wow.
So it's really like a technique that's been passed down through generations.
So it's not just the flavor, right? It's like tradition woven into the food itself.
Exactly.
That's really cool. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about Malaysia.
Okay.
So Babachichi called it bold and comforting, which to me sounded like a really hard combo to pull off.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? But they make it work.
They do.
And I think it comes down to that whole fusion thing, right?
Okay.
You got Malay, Chinese, and Indian influences all just kind of blended together in this really harmonious way.
So it's like a melting pot of flavors.
That's a great way to put it.
And they show this amazing dish, Nasi Lemak.
Oh, yeah. Arguably Malaysia's national dish.
I've heard of that, but I've never tried it.
You have to try it.
What's in it?
Okay, so you've got this coconut rice that's been steamed in pandan leaves.
And then they add spicy sambal, crispy anchovies, peanuts for crunch.
Wow, so it really does hit all those comforting notes,
It does.
but still incredibly flavorful.
Yeah, that's the magic of Malaysian cuisine.
I can't wait to try it. And speaking of flavorful, I have to ask about the Char Teow.
Oh, yeah.
So the vlog shows these street vendors making it, and the smoky aroma coming off that wok is like insane.
It is something else.
What is it that makes that dish so unique?
It's the wok hay, literally breath of the wok.
Oh, wow.
It gives it that smoky flavor, and they do it by using super high heat
Okay.
to stir fry these flat rice noodles, and they add soy sauce, chili prawns, sometimes cockles.
Interesting.
And all these ingredients come together and, you know, add another layer of complexity to the flavor.
So we've got Thai food's focus on balance and tradition, and then we've got Malaysian food with this incredible fusion of cultures and cuisines.
Right.
They're both so different, but equally amazing.
Absolutely.
What will this tell us about, like, their cultures? You know what I mean?
That's a great question. I think food is such a great window into a culture's history, its values, and even its geography.
Right.
So, you know, Thai cuisine, I think, really reflects this deep reverence for harmony and like an abundance of fresh ingredients. Whereas Malaysian food, I think, showcases the country's diverse heritage and its openness to new culinary influences.
That's a great point. So for someone listening right now who's like ready to go beyond pad Thai and Nasi Lemak,
Right.
what would be a good starting point for them to explore these cuisines even further?
Well, I would say look for regional specialties. So in Thailand, for example, northern cuisine is known for using a lot of fermented ingredients, while southern dishes tend to be much more fiery hot.
Oh, wow.
And then in Malaysia, Penang is famous for its street food.
Yeah.
And then the Borneo states have all these unique indigenous dishes.
Okay, so like a whole different world within each country.
Exactly.
So much to discover. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've done a pretty good job giving everyone like a taste of the philosophy,
Right.
the technique, and even like the cultural stories behind these cuisines.
Yeah,
But really, for everyone listening out there, we've only scratched the surface.
exactly.
So it's time to fire up those taste buds and really start exploring.
I agree.
Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.
My pleasure.